Welcome back to another episode of What Now? I'm so glad you could be here on this Friday. Do you know what Friday means for football in August? I'll tell you what it means. It means high school football is back in session. What an amazing time it is to be a football fan, to be a part of a community, to come together for such an event like this. Because today, at 7 o'clock, the Hamilton Bulldogs, Big Blue, will go against the Badin Rams, the inner city rival. Both teams are here in the city of Hamilton of Cincinnati, Ohio. Both teams have family and friends alike coming together in the same stadium to play such a monumentous game. And listen, I love high school football. I played high school, I played college, I played in the NFL. And there is nothing like the euphoric feeling of winning a game, going through adversity with your brothers that you've grown up with, and winning football games in high school football. The electricity's in the air, the passion, the camaraderie, the togetherness, everybody united in the city to see victory happen for the football player, for the athlete. And so, of course, in my time I spent this week with God, He revealed to me a really powerful teaching from the Word of God. And I want to share it with you guys as it relates to this game. And I know I'm a coach for Hamilton Big Blue, so I'm a bit biased. I expect this game to be a victory for the Bulldogs. I expect that we will come out of this victorious for this community. Humbly, I expect that we will act with character and class as we've been taught by our head coach and the principles that we follow. So I'm not giving my predictions about tonight. Instead, I want to look through the eyes of Jesus and see how can a community come together even stronger during a time of such divisiveness, during a time when there essentially is a house divided. Yes, Badin is on the other side of the river. Hamilton High School is on this side of the river, but both of them are in the same city. So it would seem, looking at the picture from the outside, that there is a house divided. One house divided into two. And so I want to talk about what Jesus said in the Word as it relates to this. And then hopefully next week I can let you know how the community respond to it. All right. So we're going to be reading Mark chapter 3, verses 23 through 27. And I'm going to give you a quick summary leading up to that moment. You see, Jesus was doing these miraculous works. He was going into different cities, laying hands on the sick, touching lives, changing lives. He was doing things that unconventionally would be considered red flag from religious behavior found in the Old Testament. So, of course, there were a group of people who were like, well, can't be the prophecy fulfilled because you're doing things that contradict what God said for us to do. And this was a moment that Jesus would confront many times in his ministry as God in flesh, walking amongst the earth as man doing miraculous works for 3.5 years. He would often have to confront this group of people who we call the Pharisees and Sadducees. People who looked good on paper, but their hearts were deceitfully wicked. They followed all the rule books of the 600 laws, but behind closed doors, they were the ones doing the evil, controlling money and power and authority. And here comes Jesus to stir up the pot, to bring truth to life, to help his people, to love his people in the moment. And so let's read it. Let's read 23. And so verse 20 and 22 it talks about them accusing Jesus of being a demon, because now he's doing all of these things that contradict their truth, what they feel is the right thing. And so here's Jesus' response. He says, verse 23, so he called them to himself and said to them in parables, teachings, how can Satan cast out Satan? If a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan has risen up against himself and is divided, he cannot stand, but he has an end. No one can enter a strong man's house and plunder his goods unless he first binds the strong man, and then he will plunder his house. So what is Jesus saying here? Jesus is saying that let's separate the two, because right now you think I'm coming into your house and I'm taking things from you. But really what I'm here to do is expose the darkness within your house, because there are two separate kingdoms at work. There's the kingdom of light that we belong to when we accept Jesus into our life and allow the Holy Spirit to be a daily reminder of his character. And on the other hand, there's a kingdom of darkness. And this kingdom is designed by Satan to manipulate us and deceive us to think that we're doing the right thing. So there are two different houses at work as they fight toward our hearts. Both kingdoms want to influence man. But Jesus, who is a part of the kingdom of light, wants to not only bring you alongside the kingdom of light, but to extinguish the kingdom of darkness. And one day he will fulfill what he said he would do. The kingdom of darkness will find its place in the lake of fire. So to make this very clear, there isn't good and evil in one house. Good, light, Jesus cannot occupy the space of evil. Wherever Jesus is, he always brings the light to extinguish the darkness. So Jesus walks into this community and he does miraculous work. And then he gets accused by people who believe that they're part of the kingdom of light, but really are just covering up for the kingdom of darkness. They've been deceived by the evil one. And so Jesus then teaches them how important it is to understand what side you're on and what his true mission is. His true mission is to take everything of the kingdom of darkness, is to take his people back from the kingdom of darkness. So when he casts out a demon, or he heals the sick, or he raises the dead, this is him in the moment putting chains on the strong man. And the strong man of that house of darkness is Satan. Satan has no power or authority unless we give him power and authority. So in this moment, Jesus is changing the environment. He's going into the community and changing the way the community thinks about divisiveness. What is truly good and what is truly evil. And I see it the same way with the community of Hamilton, the city of Hamilton. I see it the same way. I see a people on both sides, Baden side and Hamilton side, who truly love each other. There are some people in the stories that I've heard, there are some families that are living together. Baden is living with Hamilton Bulldogs, and they love each other day in and day out. But this game, it means something to them. And what it means is that family can come together for one cause and one purpose. And this is why I love football, because at the end of the day, if both groups, the Bulldogs and the Rams, have the right heart, then it will not only transform the city, but both places will be blessed from it. This one house will be even stronger. Just imagine, and again, I'm biased. I believe the Bulldogs will win, so I have to set the scenario to fit the Bulldogs narrative. Just imagine if the Bulldogs, they win, and it's a close game, and it's down to a field goal, and Badin fought hard, and the Bulldogs fought hard, and then we come out victorious. Just imagine if once the clock hits 0, we go over and we shake hands with respect, and we appreciate the guy on the other side of the field. And we show humility toward the guy on the other side of the field. And we respect the other side of the guy on the other side of the field. Just imagine if we do it the right way, what confidence that builds in the other team. Because both teams are from separate divisions. So Hamilton Bulldogs will go off and they'll go and win another division. We could go to state in another division. We'll never see Badin again during the year. And Badin will go off in the Catholic League to go and win another division. We'll never see them in the state finals. A house coming together to create a stronger community, a stronger bond, stronger memories, moments where both teams can celebrate the ups and the downs of adversity. That's what it's all about. Now, what Satan wants to do is take this house and this moment and bring chaos and confusion. He wants us to be against each other, not just in this moment of a football game, because it's just a game, not just in this moment of a football game, but he wants to start confusion and strife and fighting and arguing amongst the teams even after this. He wants to see this community grow weaker, be more influenced by evil. And so that's why I'm here today. I'm here today to be like Jesus and stand between the middle of one house and say, this moment brings us together even stronger. And so my prayer today, as we take the field and we seize victory, is that the hearts of the people, is that the hearts of these kids and the hearts of this community would have humility. They would look at the picture and say, I'm so glad I get to see my brother or my sister or my family member after so long. Because that's what football does. It brings people together in one space. And my challenge for you is this. If you stand in a house and you're a part of something that maybe has an opportunity to bring you together with family, with people who you care about, take the time to be like Jesus. To do the brave thing, to do the bold thing, do the thing that requires love, to see people come together stronger. Because we don't want to be a part of the house of darkness. It's not the Badin Rams. The Badin Rams are a part of the house of light. And we don't just want to be a part of the house of the kingdom of light. We want to be a part of the kingdom of light and be an influence to those who may be in darkness. We always want to see the bigger picture of how Jesus wants to use us. So let Jesus use you. Let him show love even toward those who would be deemed as your enemy. Allow God to open up the heart of healthy rivalry. A rivalry that connects people together in celebration. Like I feel about this city. I really believe that both of these teams, they love each other. I can tell that. That's very clear. In fact, the head coach that I'm being coached under at the Bulldogs, he coached with the head coach at Badin. So as much as this is an important moment to bring community together, at the very end of this, they'll probably be in some way connected together even after. One of my coaches on that side that I was coached by in high school, he's also over there with the Badin Rams. So it's an important moment for this city, and I hope that you can challenge your own city, your own environment, your own family to come together united, not holding grudges, not being resentful. That's all I got. Be blessed. I'm praying for you. Peace and love.